It's a great day when you're hanging around. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down. Good times are coming our way. Whenever, wherever, whatever today.
Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host, and welcome to the Lone Doctrine. I am your weekly dose of constructive food for thought. If you are just tuning in with us, welcome. And for all our current listeners, you are awesome. This month, we're stepping away from the normal programming slightly and sharing some light. Light in the midst of some hard times happening around the world, just as a reminder that good is all around us. Sometimes it's hard to see it when times are tough. This in no way takes away from those who are experiencing hard times, but I hope will give the energy needed in continuing forward and standing together to be the change we hope to see in the world. Today, I'd like to share with you some true stories that happen all around us. Have you ever felt like you were just at the right place at the exact right time? This is a story by Chris Langston. Years ago, I know I was put at the right place at the right time to help someone. Myself and a friend were driving north when I had to stop at a red light. I noticed off to the right in a bank parking lot not too far away, there were two men standing by the rear of a van that looked like it had a flat tire. What really caught my attention was the panicked look on their faces. I suddenly realized what had happened. They were changing a flat tire and the van had come off the jack and had trapped one man's hand between the wheel well and the tire. The light turned green and instead of driving away, I drove up and over the curb to the right, scraping the bottom of my car all the way and pulled up next to the van. The person in line at the light in back of me also noticed what had happened and did the same thing. We jumped out of our cars, and if I remember correctly, not one word was said by any of us. We all knew what we needed to do. 4 of us grabbed what we could on the back corner of the van and lifted it up just high enough so the man could pull his hand out. All of his fingers were crushed, but he was lucky that the tire was soft and gave enough so not to sever the fingers. The man with him asked what he should do, and I told him there was a hospital 1 mile away, and I pointed that direction. The man that was in back of me at the light told them to get in his car, and off they went. That moment in time, I'm glad I could help a fellow man in need. Here's another story by Stephanie Thompson. Inspired by a commercial, 2 Green River High School students decided to show the community what true beauty is. The Foundation for a Better Life's television commercial shows a high school girl announcing the prom queen. The commercial viewers expect to see the stereotypical high school girl being crowned, but a girl with Down syndrome is the one who receives the crown. This scenario is something that Jackie and Vicky Tramp would like to see come true for Darcy Coates. Having a brother that has Down syndrome made us feel like we would want the same thing for him when he is in high school. Jackie and Vicky have been friends with the Coates for a little more than a year, and during this time have gotten to know her well. Jackie first met Coates when she was an aide in Coates' class. Soon, Jackie and Vicky started having lunch with Coates. Jackie and Vicky said Coates loves princesses and has always wanted to be one. Coates knew the girls were encouraging people to vote for her for prom queen, but she didn't know what prom queen was or what exactly a prom queen does. Vicky said they didn't want to get Coates' hopes up, only to have them crushed if she didn't make it to the top 5. The girl called Coates' mom and asked her if they could put her daughter's name up for prom queen. About 3 hours later, students and teachers were commenting about the flyers. I spread it around the school pretty quickly. Jackie said the teachers told her most were in favor of Coates becoming prom queen. However, there were some who were not so supportive and could not understand why Jackie and Vicky wants this for Coates. We're not doing this for people to feel forced to vote for her, Jackie said. We're doing this because it will make a big impact on her life and others and how they view things. Although Coates acts shy, she really loves being the center of attention. She would really enjoy being in front of everyone. Even if Coates is not crowned prom queen, the girls wanted her to make her the top 5. Monday afternoon, Jackie and Vicky found out that their work had paid off, and Coates made the top 5. They were ecstatic. This is something special. We would like to see the kids with disabilities have the same opportunities that we have. I'm sharing these stories with you today because these are true, real stories that are happening all around us. And one thing can inspire another. Something as simple as an encouragement on a commercial inspired these 2 young girls to show and make a dream come true for someone else. Here's another story. My daughter and I often take in cans and bottles for our own collection or from friends and family for gas money to get to work. While at the bottle return site one day, a small truck pulled up. The bed of the truck was full of at least 10 bags of cans and bottles. It had the name of a door repair company on the truck. A man got out and asked if we wanted all these bottles and cans. I stammered a bit as I could not believe that he was just giving all these bags away. My daughter and I said sure. We thanked him again and again. My daughter and I saw an older lady with a very elderly man in her car waiting to process her returns. My daughter asked her if she would like half of the bags. She said yes, and 2 families enjoyed the kindness of a stranger. It felt good to pass on this unexpected kindness. We often do not realize how monumental the briefest moments in our children's lives truly are and how much they reveal about their true character. The next story is shared in honor of a 7-year-old boy who is so often a guiding light to his mother, Donna. I received the following email message from the mother of a child at my son's elementary school. Today, when my son and I went to pick up my daughter at school, my son was upset about something, probably the change in routine. He was crying and screaming. Your son came over, sat next to us, and tried to console him. It was one of the most wonderful things I was able to witness. My son is autistic, so we always worry about how he will be treated by his peers. Your son made my day. My daughter also shared the story of how your son helped her by being her crutch when she hurt her knee. Thanks for raising such a great kid. As a mother, I can only pray that these moments of caring continue to accumulate and make him a compassionate man throughout his life. So many things happen around us on the daily, and when times are dark, it's very, very easy for that darkness to continue to take hold. But what I encourage you to see that even the smallest act of kindness can go a long way in someone's life. We are focusing all month on all things good because that gives us the energy to keep moving forward. So I'll end the day with this. Every dog has its day. It was Friday morning and I was on my way to the local high school to go for a run. There was traffic that morning, which was strange for such a small town. I realized that cars had begun to slow down to stare at a dog that was sitting in the middle of the road. The cars never pulled over or seemed to really care about the small animal, but I chose to pull over. The old, small dog came up to my car and jumped in. I soon discovered it was 3/4 blind and very sick. Scared for the dog, I called the owner and took it to the local veterinarian until the owner arrived. I didn't realize it at the time, but I actually saved the animal's life. It had made its way 15 miles from home and surely would have died if no one had saved it. I'm only 16 years old, but I know that acts of kindness like this are rare in our society, and that the integrity and knowledge to make the right choices can truly help the people around me. No, there was no cash reward or story in the local paper, but just the act itself was enough to feel truly fulfilled. That was from a 16-year-old. What can we learn and what can we be reminded of from our children, from the people that are younger than us that take the time to do small acts of kindness? And how as we, as adults, How can we keep nurturing these actions to make today better than yesterday? There are stories we don't always hear about, but they are true. Unless they land in the media, which is rare because most media these days instills fear and tells us all things bad, or it lands in the latest video on social media, the good of every day passes us by, and the negative feeds into our everyday and can be so consuming. I believe there's a balance. It's good to be aware of current events, but it's also good to allow yourself to approach it critically. Here's what I mean. A lot of times we have passing of media, passing of facts, and passing of stories. It comes at such a constant rate that we end up thinking of it on the surface. We take it for what it is. But what I encourage you to do is dig a little deeper, think critically, listen to all sides, listen to all stories, find your balance. The negative wants to take hold and keep you there. So do what you can to also recognize the good and be part of the good. Something as simple as a smile to a stranger, or not yelling at drivers on the freeway, or lending a helping hand is everyday good. And as the quote says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And until next time, keep fighting the good fight.
It's a